Hey YouTube, it is good to be back. Welcome into my studio. I'm Robin McClendon. I'm here to hang out and have a, you can see my hands are already a mess, and I've been gel printing away with my patrons. We've been having a good time, and I always like to share some fun techniques with you all. So I've been working on this art piece that so I love using file folders. So this is a multi-layered print that these are all with the ARAs, and we've been working on them, and this is all drying. It's been coffee stain. I got lots of them all around. So I thought it'd be cool to do one of these with you all with a large file folder, because I use these file folders in book structures. It's really one of my favorite things to do, is I like to make these long, narrow books, and then, you know, fill them almost like kind of a document kind of thing, and you fold it so that ultimately you get this long, narrow thing, and now coffee stain it. You can cut it off at any level, at any height that you want, and then even the bottom piece you can use for pockets or just, you know, really fun stuff. And then this stuff can definitely go in. You can also sew pages in. So I'm going to show you. So I want to kind of go back and just have fun with these paints. I was going to do some bright palette with kind of like the way we did on the larger plate. This right here is the, is this the 14 by 16 or the 12? I think this is the 12 by 16. So I'm gonna make it colorful, fun. I'm gonna use my, I think I'll use the 𝐏𝐄𝐕𝐄𝐑 to get some really dynamic brush work. And let's put some of this blue down here. I hadn't used this blue yet, so it's a little funny. Gotta get it started. So it's kind of, you know, we're going to take what we did on the large, you know, where I worked with the larger, this might go pop. I knew it was. You know, when I worked with the larger artwork, we made the finished pieces a few weeks ago. Well, I'm thinking, let's take that and put that there. I'll take some of this blue off because we don't need that much. Okay. And we're going to take it so we can work them back into these sort of document style book things that I do. I love them. And I love my long, narrow books. I put a lot of my stained papers in them, and, you know, my other artwork that's just a part of the whole process of creating in the studio. And so you see I'm really mixing it, because I just want to get a lot on here, and I want to just get a really cool palette. And let's get the brush, you know how I like to do, and this is going to give us an area that is going to be broken up. Let's go ahead and get the file folder, and I think I'm going to start. You can see this file folder is really big, so I just want to get, so we're just going to do like some cross printing. So we're just going to kind of keep on printing and building up these layers, and we're going to do front and back. And then when it's dry, I'm going to show you how I'll turn this into a journal. That'll be fun. You know, you can still work large. These are just large file folders, but of course you can, oh yes, you can get the, oh, look at that. Ooh, love it. And we still have stuff on the plate. Wow, that's good. So I feel like, let me just go to this side and pull it. It's going to be a little strange because I want to get this while it's wet, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some other paper. I'm just going to put it down so it'll transfer some, which is fine because then it'll dry a little faster and I can get a good print. Cool. Great. Oh, look at that. These colors are so good. Really love how, you know, it's like really real Basquiat-like, right? And so this is what the other side is looking like. And so we're going to just keep on building it up, right? So let's put this down there. And let's get some more on the plate. Do some more yellow. I'm using my ARAs. Love these. So I did find, a few of you were able to find them at Jackson Arts out of the UK. And you found that they definitely go to, send to Canada really nicely. And it's not really expensive. I saw someone else suggested another place too that had it in UK. Now I can't remember, but you know, you can put the information below this video. Don't feel like you can't share places that you can find it in your areas. And then here in the US, I did make an ARA page on my Amazon storefront. The link will be below. But if you don't see the link, just look for Amazon storefront and just do my name, Robin McClendon, and it'll come up. But, so, oh, this is so good. What am I saying? Oh, yeah, I found a lot of them on Amazon, and they really aren't terribly expensive in this 100 milliliter thing. Actually, when I compared it to Golden, they're cheaper for just as much paint. So, this is really, I got a lot of paint on here. So it's definitely, I'm definitely breaking my goopy rule, and I'm putting more down here, but I really want it to build up and be very painterly on the, get this one, on the, oh, that really absorbed it, didn't it? Sorry to say so much. But anyway, they end up being between 9 and 15 depending on the color. But for the similar thing with, I'm gonna just leave that like that, with Goldens, it's like Goldens is like almost 40% more. So when we look at it like that, it ain't a bad thing. So you'll find a lot of the colors that I did find over on my Amazon storefront. That's the moral of this story. That's what I'm trying to get to. Oh boy. It's like I've been doing so much today. You know, like a lot of times you're doing a lot of things and I've got so much running through my mind and like so many projects, and I'm excited by so many things that my brain is going faster than my mouth. Or, yeah, because I'm having a hard time getting it out, but I'm thinking it. I'm just cleaning that up. Let's see what we get here. Oh, wow. See how painterly these are? Oh my goodness. I just love them. So Basquiat. I love Basquiat too. So I'm going to put this down. I think what I'm going to do is maybe I'll grab this side for this. And using this extra piece, it just helps it to dry faster, and it allows me also to be able to push down on this so I can make good contact while it's still wet. Yes, so I'm definitely being inspired by Basquiat right now. So this cover is going to be homage to Basquiat. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. I love it. Oh, I love that. Seeing that lighter section like that. So maybe what I can do is just put some white down. So I can kind of get it lighter here. Let's just see. I can always cover it up. And a bit of black. These colors are just so good. We should be able to pull some of this underneath color, but if I just get white here, I'm okay, because Basquiat did a lot of black and white too, so that was one of the signature things that he had in his painting. So it'd be kind of cool to have that. I think what I'm gonna do is, because this plate is a little shorter than my folder, and I know that I'm gonna cut this off some, I think I'm just gonna cut these two, the top and the bottom, off. I'm not gonna try to print that. I want to be able to show you guys how to do this, and I need for it to dry. Oh yeah, oh yeah, perfect. Look at that. It's like we got all these paintings going. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let me put this down, because this needs to start drying. And I'm going to take and pull the rest of this on this one, because why not? We got a 2-for-1. I still have some paint over here, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint this up. And then this could actually be sections that could also go into the into the journal. You could use this cleanup pages for pockets. I mean, there's so much you can do. So let me go ahead and roll some of this out. And let's get some yellow. And some magenta. Brighten it up. See what we get here. And this will make a nice orange too. Okay, I like that, like that. Let's put this back down. Let me see. Yeah. These paints, I'm still loving them. They sent me the some like the full line, so I'm going to do an unboxing here, and we'll just pull them all out and look at them. And then I can't do all of them because there's a lot of them, but I'll take some of the main colors that I'm going to be using in a video. I'll swatch them, and then you guys can see it, and that way you can let me be the guinea pig for colors, and then you can kind of select the colors that you want based upon that, because they have a very extensive palette. So, oh boy, oh, look at that. I love that. See how clear these colors are too? They print really clear. Let's get just gonna put some white. A little bit of white. A little bit of white, and then let's do a little bit more of the ink. Get a little bit of drama. A little bit of drama. this. Just gonna put it right over top of it. Just building up. And you can just kind of keep on building your prints up like this too, just to kind of keep on getting things where you want them and make it really nice and rich. Like we're getting some really rich, built up, very painterly kind of thing going on here. Of course, you could print both sides. I'm just going to print the one side. Oh, yeah, look at that. But you can print both sides. That looks good. Let me grab on this end. I have some here. Let's just... So I'm going to let this all dry, and then I'll be back. Oh, yeah. Then I'll be back with... Oh, I love this. Look at like all the different sections. It'd be so cool to do pockets and things. Okay, anyway, so this is going to dry, and I'm going to be back. Ah, so good. And we're going to work this into a sort of a document style journal thingy. Alrighty, be right back. Popping back on while I'm letting things dry, but I decided just to take my paintbrush and smear some pure color onto the gel plate. I mean, onto the file folder, and it really does a nice. The file folder is really brilliant at how it takes color. Just using this brush, it's just really picking up. So I decided that I was going to do that. And since I decided I was going to do that, I thought it was only fair to come on here and show you guys. And then I'm using a baby wipe, and I just take the baby wipe and literally kind of smooth things in, and where I want the color a little bit brighter, like I got a little bit blue, more blue over the pink than what I wanted, you literally can just take the baby wipe and clean it up, and then we have stuff there. So I'm going to do it on this side so you can see. So like up here, let's get, like down here, I want some contrast. So I'm going to put some white, since I have white on this brush already. So, you know, just kind of taking it and just really smoothing it in, smearing it in. And because I'm, you know, want the whole thing to be painterly, since it already is, already has that kind of vibe to it, then just using a brush and smushing things around is really good. I'm going to get the yellow, put some yellow down here. Just going to fill that border in. It's okay for it to go up in some, and, you know, just work loose. Because it really does. And then I think I'm going to do opposite. I'm liking how this yellow. So I'll do some yellow here. A little bit. And on this tab, on this edge a little bit where I didn't have any color. And like I said, get a little bit too much over there. Just use your baby wipe and knock some of it back. And that looks good. So then let's just get some magenta right here on this edge. And that will do it. That'll give us a nice, I'm going to leave some of that white in there. I really like that, but I want to just kind of spread it around. And then, you know, like I said, to thin the color out some, just use your baby wipe. And it still gives it more, you know, it looks painterly, but using a baby wipe also allows it to look more like a monoprint, which is what we were doing. We were monoprinting, right? So see how that does? Just gives a nice color to it. I'm gonna leave that open. I like that. That might even be the front for me, but I don't know. This is good. So anyway, we're gonna let this dry, but I just wanted to come back in to show you what I had done. Alrighty. Okay, so we are back to finish this file folder journal up. It's all nice and dry and ready to go. I pulled some papers that I had that are, you know, coffee stain papers, just to give an idea of how I would flesh this journal out, just as some ideas for doing it yourself. These are the best to make. I love file folder journals. So, and books. I sometimes do these as my artist books as well. So what I'm going to do is I've decided I'm going to make it about this wide, because that's where I feel like this is a natural spot for it. It's long, it's narrow. I'm going to cut some of it off, so it's going to pretty much be that size, which is a nice manageable size, and it'll allow us to work with 8.5 by 11 papers. It's going to be longer than 8.5 by 11, but you can stagger the papers in such a way that you can then, you know, add to them and do a whole thing with them. But just kind of working with some standard sizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut this, and we're going to end up making it, it's going to end up being like a, oh, I could use a longer ruler. It's going to end up kind of creating an inside pocket the way I do these. So you shall see. Let's just get this lined up. So I want to kind of do it right there. So that'll give us, let me see if I move it back a little bit. What does that look like? Okay, we're going to do it that. So it's going to basically be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches wide, not counting the flap. Okay, so we'll get our X-Acto. And let's just go ahead and cut through that. Now the secret is just to kind of take little slices at a time. Don't try to go through it the entire, you know, thing the first time. Now that's going to allow us to play with this a little bit too. So for instance, what we're going to end up doing is this is going to end up being glued here, and it's going to give us a pocket. So it'll give us an inside pocket. So both of them will get glued like this, and then we have this pocket, which is really cool. Now if I wanted to play with the sides, we can flip things too. So I really like that. I might make that the outside. So we just sort of flip the way the tab goes, which is no biggie. And I like that. So I feel like front and back that looks good. And so then inside, this would end up being the inside piece, because it'll make a pocket. But I think that if we flip it, hold on, so that this ends up being the side that faces, then we've got all that really yummy color that's also in contrast, and it fits back in with this image better than if we had this side. You see the difference? So one of the things that happens when you do cut them up, it allows you to do different things with them and sort of play around. The other thing we can do is just make the pocket just a little bit narrower. I want to see a little bit more of that other print. And because we're just sort of using this as not only as construction, but sort of a tuck spot, but it doesn't have to be really deep. I'm going to take about a 1/2 inch off. I think like taking a 1/2 inch will just give a little bit, we'll see a little bit more of the insides, and it won't be as deep of a pocket. So you can play around with this structure in any way that you want. So let's look at this now. So that here, and this like that, I like that. See? So that'll be our inside, and this is going to be the outside. So the way we put this together is, I'll grab my glitter glue, and what you want to do, where is my, oh, just go ahead and get a good, I am going to cut this down further, so maybe what I'll do is go ahead and cut it now. So when I glue it, so let's take this and I'm going to cut it down some. So let's get our paper. It's going to be a little space top to bottom because I kind of want it to come down to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll do a 6 by 12. Okay, so we're going to cut it here. So we'll just get a little bit off of this. And if you were using longer paper, you have longer paper, it's no reason why you can't keep the full length. I play with all kinds of things, but for this, just to sort of make it, you know, work. And also, if you are working with a shorter folder too, then you don't have to cut it unless you decide you just want to make everything a little smaller. So let's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The old adage, measure twice, cut once. I always just like to double check. Can't tell you how many times in the history of me learning, bookbinding, and working on book projects and everything, the times I actually have cut things too short and had to start over again. It's nothing like it. So those experiences have taught me to measure more than, you know, a couple of times and then cut. Now we have this natural area where, you know, you have these extra places that you could fold it. So if you wanted a thicker spine, you wanted to make your book thicker. The thing I like about file folders is you can, you know, you can fold these across a number of these perforations, right? And then make a natural spine. But we're not going to do that right now. So this is going to go down like that. So let's go ahead. Start off with some glue here. And I'm going to run. And this is the glitter glue, which is a PVA, which is really good for this process. Okay. Come on. Came out, but I feel like I hit a little. I'm going to get some more here. Come on. I don't know why it decided to seize up on me. Let's see if that helps some. I like to keep a nice thin bead, but you definitely want to make, okay, that's better. You still want to make sure you have enough on here. Okay. You feel like it's a little too thick. Oops. Just, you know, use your finger and get it where you want it. Okay, so this is going to be my back inside pocket. So let's just turn it towards us. and this on there. I'm putting it right up to the end, but depending on how wide your spine is and what you want to do with that, you can definitely, you know, put it in a little bit. There's no real rules to this except for, you know, just kind of putting it together the way you, whatever ideas you have. I've done these books. I can't tell you how many different ways I've done these type of books. I just happen to love working with file folders. It's just definitely a part of my consumer, you know, waste art, and you can definitely put where's my little handheld? You know, you can also put a punch there to, let's see, here's one. Have a thumb hole if you want. Sometimes I put two here, but let's just go ahead and put one. Let me just do this one first because I can't see the other one. It's always better to turn it upside down. Let's find the middle. Okay, so right there. So, see, you can just put like a little doohickey like that. Let me see if I can get this in here. Why isn't it going in? There you go. Let's kind of line it up. Okay. So, and like I said, you can do it all different kind of ways. You can make 2 pockets, you can make 3 pockets, and then you could make as many of these little thumb holes as you want. So let's put this one down. It just becomes a place to put some extra things, and it just makes use of this type of construction. You know. I've done the pockets on the outside. I've done this as a full accordion. I mean, sometimes I think I sit and dream up ways to create, to work with, just kind of cleaning this off so I don't get it too messy. My little glitter glue thing. Okay, so let's see. So this is the back, this is the front. Okay. Alrighty. Put down. Let's knock it down so everything is right. And I do have a tendency just to kind of just have it in slightly off the edge, just a little bit, where this comes together, because I want to make sure that that I'll have enough room to punch through. But see how cool that looks? So we kind of redesigned it to be what we wanted it to be. Inside is nice. And so now that is our... Now we have these pieces too. You know, you could come back and, I mean, it's all kind of things you can do with these. I save them. You can make them pockets inside, some of your inside pages. If you wanted to do something on the outside, you could put a pocket on the outside. I mean, you know, there's everything you can do. But right now I'm just kind of inspiring you to show you the basics. So I think I have maybe 8 pieces of paper. So one of the ways that I'll fold this, if you're using an 8.5 by 11, I have folded so that we can get double sheets in here. So I'm going to make it about as wide as my cover, disregarding the tabs. So that means I would fold this like about right there. So if we looked at the fold, it's going to go in there like that. So we're going to fold all of them roughly like that. You can make them shorter. You can use other ephemera, you know. Once you get the basics, which I'm showing you the basics of this particular style, you can alter it as many ways as you have ideas. There are ways to create this. There's never, I mean, like, there's not a one way. So just have at it. This is some graph paper that, you know, of course coffee stain. Get these done. And then we'll use a pamphlet stitch to sew them, or you can use, if you have a long arm stapler, nothing wrong with saddle stitching them by stapling them in a few places. This right here is a little paint off my gel plate. When it was drying, it dried. It was kind of drying on top of my gel plate, so there was a little paint that came off, which is really cool. I gotta remember to do that more often. Okay. One more. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to stagger these into signatures, and then we're going to sew them, and then we're done. So one of the things I like to do is I'll do one this way and one that way. That way, when these pages go together, when we open them, they'll be like a full page, a half a page, a full page, a half a page. What's nice about these half a pages is then you can add other ephemera onto them, you know, and you can add them in a way that, let's just say this were a full sheet. Like this could become a full sheet, right? So you can actually, it's a good way to add more interest into your book without adding, you know, in the process of already having put your pages together. It'll allow you to make things a little fuller. And so you can just see we're doing every other. And this would be the last one. So let's close this up. Guess we have one more here. We could have the front like that too, sort of giving a bit of interest. I think I'll leave that on as the front. So let's go back inside here, and this inside one will do like that. Okay. So these were 8 sheets of paper that we're working with. Now, I can put them in here like this. Remember, I wanted my book a little higher than not. So we can also stagger these. So in order to make it just a little bit, you know, you don't have to stagger it a lot. But let's say we'll stagger it this amount, so maybe there's about a 1/2 inch top and bottom. So let's make that. And then I just kind of work a sheet up and then bring one down. And you could just do that through the whole thing so that you get a slightly larger signature, which is cool. And in that way, we also, you know, create some interest, and you make the pages a little longer, and then you can add things top and bottom if you want to or not. Okay, so now let's go ahead and figure that in there. So it's looking like that. It's looking good. And then we're going to, I'll get my little clip. And let's just you guys have been hanging out with me long enough to know I love books. A lot of my jelly prints and things work themselves into books. So we're going to use our awl. I'm going to make 3 holes here, so it's going to be a 3 signature, a 3-hole signature. So pamphlet stitch, I mean. So I'm going to come in about 1.5 inches. That way I know I'm getting all the pages. And here at the top about 1.5 inches. I'm eyeballing it, but if that's not your thing, if you want to measure it, you can. But the idea is you just want to make sure you're grabbing the pages top and bottom. And now this is the easy part, just a little bit of sewing. And let's see, do I have something already? Do I have enough already? Nope, that's not going to do it. Okay, let's just get ourselves some red here. So you kind of want to do it a little bit longer than the height of the book. Maybe 1.5 times the height of the book works. And I'm using waxed thread. I'll put it below the video in the notes section, but yeah, you get a lot of colors. Get it on Amazon. It's inexpensive. So you can start from the inside out or the outside in. If you want the tail on the outside, then you start from the outside. If you want to tie off in the inside, then you go into the inside. Okay, so we have that first hole there. Just come up one and go through. Like that. And you cross over and go to the bottom hole. So now we've done the top one. You skip this one. You go out the third one that we made. Like that. And then you're going to go back in the hole that with the first hole that we came out of. I'm going to go back through on the other side of the long thread. So you see, this is our first tail. This is the long thread. And this is, can you see my needle? This is on the other side of that, come on, that thread. So that way we can tie off over top. And it ties the whole thing off. So tighten it all up. You want to make sure that, you know, it's tight on the outside. And then you just simply, I'll take this off. You do left over right. Just make a square knot. And then right over the left one. And that'll make a square knot or a non-slip knot. And then cut it off. You can do so many things with this. You can leave the threads long and have them hanging outside the book, and you can attach other things to them. You could have it on the inside. You could do the same thing on the outside, put some beads or different things on it. Many, many variations. I'm sure many of them you've seen, probably you have even done. So That's the beginning of our file folder book. And now we're ready to add, so much more in here. We can add to the pages. What's neat too is that some of the pages, these pieces can become pockets on some of your pages, and this one even would create a tab that could also stick out of the book. So just think in terms of how you would want to use any of it, but that's it. That is literally it. We have a neat little book ready to go with some of our gel in with our pockets. We have these pockets here, which, we'll take other stuff here. So a lot of times these extra pieces I'll put in there until I come back and start flushing out the book. But there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. A little session from start to finish. Creating, I mean, look at that. It looks so good. Creating these really abstract kinds of prints onto a file folder and then turning it into this really cool journal snap just like that using a pamphlet stitch. Alrighty, that's everything, and thanks for hanging out with me. Once again, make sure you hit that bell, subscribe if you're new to my channel. If not, thumbs it up that you enjoyed the video so that we can keep on growing our community and have more amazing creatives like yourself in here hanging out with us. Big thanks to all my whole group of, creatives that are over there in Premiere right now talking it up. And I guess that's everything. Until next week, love you guys. Have an amazing week creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.